This morning I'm hiking Flatiron Trail up on Superstition Mountain. Stick around at the end and I'll give a few details on how not to lose the trail, because this is a very not super well marked trail, plus it's just a very difficult one, so when you end up on the wrong path you just make it that much harder for yourself. As you can see, the trail is pretty well easy to follow for this first chunk of the trail, and for the next little bit it still will be. And it's just a gradual steady incline, but nothing as steep as it's going to be in a little bit. But at this point I've gone 1.5 miles, getting some nice shade from the mountain because it's early in the morning. And just so you've got a glimpse, right up there, that point is Flatiron. That is where we are headed. So, still a ways to go, but going well. Okay, well that spot right there, just because the brush was so thick, even with the GPS, it was hard to tell which spot was the right one. But I figured it out. Right here, we're now at Siphon's Draw, continuing on up. It's pretty steep from here. All right, just a little bit more to go. We've got a lot down below us, but as far as what's up ahead, we're just heading straight up to that point there, and then we're gonna cut across to the top of Flatiron. right, well, I'm standing here at the top of Flatiron. It took me 2 hours and 15 minutes to get to the top. A total of 3.46 miles walked. So definitely a strenuous climb as you're coming up. I'm optimistic by the fact that the hike actually didn't feel as hard as it used to feel for me, so it just means I'm getting in better shape. Well, I've been hanging up at the top just under a half hour here, and I'm going to head back down. So once I get to the bottom, I'll update you on how the hike overall went and give you some tips on how to stay on the trail. The hike went really well. Ended up taking me 4 hours and 48 minutes with a total distance out and back of 6.57 miles. And a total ascent, and this includes the whole way up, but anytime I went down and then up again, all those ascents accumulated was 3,652 feet. So definitely a good climb for that amount of mileage. As promised, a few tips for not losing the trail, because as you can see, this is a difficult trail, and a lot of times it's really easy to know exactly where the trail is. So one thing that someone pointed out to me is, as a general rule, on your way up, you're usually going to be keeping left, and on the way down it would be the opposite. You're usually going to be keeping right when it looks like it forks, and so that's one thing to keep in mind. But then there are also along the trail some very faded, like spray paint marks, to where if you see those, you know you're on the right trail, but don't depend entirely on those, because they're in many cases really faded and hard to find. I really do recommend having a GPS, and now that could be on your phone. The All Trails app works really well, but the service is spotty here, so you definitely would want to have the Plus membership with them so that you can download the map. The other option, about 6 months ago, I did this hike, and I was using my watch, my Garmin Instinct, and I had the map downloaded on there, which works really great generally. But for this trail, I still end up getting lost, because there's so many times where it's like, do I go this way or that way? It's like so close of a fork, and on my watch I can't zoom in very well to really see. And so it helps to have something either like All Trails on your phone, or in my case, I've got the Garmin Montana 750i, so it allows me to have a nice big screen, same size as a phone, but not using up my phone battery. And the other benefit to that is also it allows my wife to track and see my location even when I'm out of cell signal, because a lot of times I hike on my own, and so she can still see where I'm at, because not get too scared that I fell off a cliff and died, because that's the way she thinks when I go hiking on my own. So that said, too, pretty soon I'll be making some videos about how to download the maps onto the Garmin Instinct and the Garmin Montana. Just hit subscribe, and once those are available, you'll get those straight to you. But let me know if you have any questions about the trail. It's an amazing hike, definitely a difficult one, but a totally worth it one to do. And do make sure that you get here early. I started about 6:30 a.m. and the weather was just right the whole way. On the way down, it was definitely starting to get hot. I was getting more sun, whereas I had mostly shade the whole first half of it. So it's one you want to get early. At least this time of the year, the park opens at 6. You can't come in any earlier. I want to say during the summer it might open at 5, but it's also just going to be a lot hotter then too. So, but yeah, great hike.